I know I've been a little bit quiet on my YouTube channel, and I really greatly apologize for that, but we've just been through a moment of waiting. Nothing's really happened with our egg donor process, and so I just felt like, since my channel is an infertility channel where I'm talking about our journey, that I didn't really have anything to say because nothing was happening, in our journey. I've been getting this feeling that I need to share some stories with you about what has happened in my life, and I really want to do this in a God-honoring way and not have it come off like a, woo, look at me, I'm so special, but I'm just really nervous about recording this because I'm not a pastor, I'm not a preacher, minister. I have no experience in talking about God, in a public way. It's always been more of like a private thing between family members and friends, and so this is just really uncomfortable for me, but I just feel like God is telling me that these stories are really important to share with you, and I think that they're applicable to anybody going through a hard time. I think that these stories can really show you that God truly loves us, and I hope that my testimony and my experience will give some of you hope, and I hope that my story will have some of you curious about God, or maybe if you are a Christian, maybe it will fuel your passion again and make you turn towards Him if you've kind of strayed away, like I have over a few years. And anyway, so I'm going to share 3 stories with you today, and these are all ways that God has shown me that He is 100% real. They're just the craziest, unexplainable situations that have happened where I was like, that had to be God. There is no way that was not supernatural. But anyway, let's get into it. The first story that I have, and I'm going to go in chronological order of how they happened, was when I was in college. And it was involving family members. And my family, just as a Hispanic family, we are very, very close. We talk all the time. Everybody is really close to each other. And, although we're scattered throughout the United States, talking to each other is super normal. And there was a situation where 2 of my family members were kind of in a feud. It was mostly a one-sided feud, and I was caught in the middle. So what happened was this family member, just say family member A, decided that they were angry and didn't want to talk to family member B ever again. Nothing was obvious that took place. There was no moment where I was like, oh yeah, I can see how, person A would be mad at person B. It was just all of a sudden they were like, you know what? I think person B is a bad person and I don't want anything to do with them anymore, and I'm no longer going to talk to them. And so this was a huge deal for my family because we were like, what? You don't do that. We're family. We will work through everything. We love each other, and family is always, always there for each other. So this was just completely absurd and out of left field, and nobody could figure out what happened or what was going on. So person B was absolutely devastated and just wanted to know how person A was doing. If I had heard anything about why they were upset or what happened, and just trying to figure out what the heck was going on. And then also getting information about how they were doing through me. Person A, who was angry and full of hate, was not trying to find out about person B, but they were trying to get me to agree with them that, sorry, Cooper, you're driving me nuts, dude. You gotta be up or down. So person A was trying to get me on their side and try to win me over and telling me like that I shouldn't talk to person B anymore. And it was just really, it was a really difficult position to be in because I had nothing to do with the situation. Like nobody, like I didn't do anything. I just somehow got caught in the middle of this war. And it was so sad for me because these two people were people that I loved and they're family, you know? Like to me, I couldn't understand why person A just couldn't sit down and have a conversation with person B. Like I tried everything to be like, can we just talk it out? Can we just talk through email even? Like if you don't want to hear them or see them, like let's just have a email conversation about what's going on. So I was trying to mediate this basically. And this went on for years, for several years. I was the middleman and I felt like I was the only person that could fix it. I felt like I was the solution and I somehow was gonna make it better. Like I took it upon myself basically to fix it. And that was just way too much to carry as a young college student. So I got to the point 3 years down the road, I think, where I just couldn't do it anymore. I was so sick of hearing person A spewing this hate to me about person B. And I was just so tired of the constant cycle of defending, you know, person B. And one day I lost it. I couldn't take it anymore. And I basically locked myself in my room of my college apartment. And I put worship music on, like in my headphones, because I didn't want my roommates to hear, you know, me blasting music. And I put this one song on repeat, and I can't remember what it was at this moment, but if I can find information, I will link it in the description, or I will like put text on the screen for you. But I put worship music on, and I basically just sobbed into my desk in my room. I turned off all the lights. Like I just sat there and I cried and cried and I prayed, and I was just begging God. I was so low. I was just begging him to intervene, to do something, to fix the situation, because I couldn't take it anymore. Like I felt like I was going to explode. I remember just saying like, God, if you're real, you will intervene in this situation. Like you will come to the rescue. You will fix the situation. You will give me an answer, give me a sign. Like I was just so desperate. I was basically begging for a miracle. And I think I spent like an hour on this constant cycle of asking God to intervene, telling him I couldn't do it anymore, completely like saying, I need you, I need help. Just in this desperation to get myself out of this situation. I don't remember getting a feeling like after that worship prayer desperate crying session. I don't, like, nothing happened in that session, but I felt better. Like, okay, I got all my emotions out, it's time to move on. And 2 weeks later, it was, I want to say, the week of Christmas, and I got a phone call from person A, and they were crying on the phone. Like I could tell they were having a hard time, you know, just even talking to me on the phone. And so I just said, you know, what's the matter? And they said, I just got out of church and my pastor was talking about forgiveness. And I got this really strong feeling that it's time to forgive person B and to let go of the anger that I have and it's time to slowly start repairing our relationship. And I have to tell you, when I heard them say that, tears flooded my eyes. But inside I was like, yes, like, oh, yes, 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 thank you, Jesus. Like I was so excited and so happy. And as soon as I hung up the phone with them, I fell to my knees and I just praised God for answering my prayers. I was like, you are so real. There's no way that this didn't happen without your intervention. Like, I just cried and thanked God for answering my prayers. Yeah, so that was the first time that God showed up and was like, I'm real. And when you come to me and ask me for help, and when you seek me, when you need me, like, I'm there. I've got you. And what's so sad is that I had forgotten what that felt like, what it felt like to have God answer my prayer and show up. The second story I have is years later, when I was going through a relationship crisis. Basically what happened is that I needed to make a decision. If you know me, which most of you don't, when I have a big decision to make, like a purchase or to do something, I'm kind of a weirdo in that I will think and talk it to death. I just get really obsessive about what to do, and I'm terrified to do the wrong thing. Basically, that's what it comes down to, is I am scared to make the wrong decision. So this was a big decision in my life because it felt life altering to me. And I just felt like if I make the wrong decision here, my life's gonna be ruined. Like, it's gonna be just ruined forever. What I like to do when I'm seeking God and when I'm looking for an answer and when I have a big decision to make, especially something like this, like it was making me physically ill thinking about making a decision. Like I had to do something, like I needed an answer. I decided to go out into nature, and I had my worship music on again, my headphones, worship music and me, and I'm putting that together now, must be like just what I do when I feel like I need to hear from God. But anyway, I went out into this forest and I made sure that there was nobody around, and I didn't want anyone seeing me cry or like anything, just in case I did. And I was gonna be talking to myself and praying out loud, and I just wasn't comfortable doing that if there were gonna be other people around, if you know what I mean. I didn't want to come off like a crazy person. So I got lost in this forest. I noticed there was a little robin on the path in front of me. And the thing that caught my attention is that I would take a few steps forward and the robin would hop a few steps forward. And just like we kept playing this like cat and mouse game, and it kept turning around and looking at me. And I just got this feeling of like, is this bird trying to lead me into the forest? Like, is it trying to show me something? And I just started kind of laughing in my head because I was like, that is so absurd. Like, I'm not a Disney princess and the animals aren't trying to talk to me, but it just felt like we were having this moment. So anyway, the path started to turn around this bend, and the bird flew off around the bend into the corner, or around the corner. And I remember being like, oh, like really disappointed that my little bird friend like finally flew off, and I knew eventually it was going to, because that's just what birds do. So as I approached this bend, I turned the corner that it flew away around, and all of a sudden, this huge gust of wind came. And it had been like a calm, beautiful, sunny day, no breeze at all. But all of a sudden, this like 30 to 40 mile per hour wind came hurling through the forest. The trees were like whoosh, like swaying as if I had all of a sudden entered this tornado. And my hair, it blew up, like seriously, like straight up and straight back. And like, I almost was like pushed back by it. This wind was so strong. And I remember this so clearly. I thought like, whoa, like that was really weird. And then as the wind was coming over me, I felt this sense of peace. It just felt like all of my worries had melted right out of me. And at the same time, I started sobbing. Like I felt like this really emotional rise in my body. So I like felt peace, and then I started crying, and I didn't know why I was crying, and the wind was blowing. It was just like this really dramatic movie moment where like something incredible was happening to me, and I just didn't know how to process it. And I felt this buzz in my back pocket where my phone was. Like I got a text or notification, and I thought like, oh, funny, like, cause all of it literally happened at the same time. And I just remember like as I was crying, like I pulled out my phone and I looked to see, what it was. And on my phone, you know how you get those like notification bars? I had a Facebook notification. It gave me the answer so clearly. I knew that God had met me in that forest and he was giving me his answer. And I just fell to my knees again, sobbing like, thank you, Jesus, thank you. Like I just felt so relieved that he told me the answer, because I couldn't make this decision on my own. And so that was the second time in my life where God showed up and showed me like, I've got this. I love you, and I will give you the answers that you are seeking for if you will just seek me first. I just hope I'm saying it in the right way to where you on the other end are like, whoa, like that is so cool. No way did that happen, but it was just so incredible. And so the third and last story, this does have to deal with our infertility journey. Like I said, it's been a financial burden, and we have to pay everything out of pocket moving forward with this egg donor. It's been keeping me up at night. I'm sure I have several gray hairs from stressing over this financial burden that we're about to take on. And I was trying to think of ways to pay for this, in whether I got a second job, or we sold some things, or we penny pinched and we just like tried to come up with ways that we could fund this. We could open credit cards, we could get a personal loan. Like I was just taking control of this situation and thinking of like, what can I do to fix it? Or like, how can we fund this? And I was taking control rather than giving it to God and saying like, you tell me what we should do. And it's been something that's kind of consuming my thoughts lately. I was spiraling down into this like financial crisis that hasn't even happened yet, but just like the anticipation of it was just, it's been really, really difficult. What I've been doing lately is leaning into God as hard as I can, because from my past, I know that when I fully surrender what I'm going through to him, my burden, if I just give that to him, he's already shown up twice in my life. And it's so sad that I keep forgetting that, like us as humans, like we just forget the blessings that we've already been given. And then when we go through another hard time, like we just forget like, oh, all you have to do is just give it to God. But anyway, I fully have been just trying to surrender the situation to God and let him take care of it, or show me like the plan that he has. And I've been listening to podcasts. I've been reading Christian books, not necessarily about like finances and fertility, but just Christian books about strength and prayer. Learn about him, get closer to him, and hear his voice. I've been writing quotes down, been tracking my dreams lately. I've been having like a prayer journal. So just like anything I can do to get closer to God, I've basically been doing these last couple of months. Through those podcasts and through everything that I've been reading and learning about, the thing that is a constant, like what I keep hearing over and over and over from all of these people, is that God already knows the plans he has for you. And his plan is 10 times greater than what you think should be happening in your life. And so after hearing that message over and over and over, I decided to give it a shot. I was like, you know what? Me taking control of the situation, this is too much. I'm not getting anywhere. I decided to just let it go. I fully surrendered everything. I mentally moved on. When I did that, now this didn't happen right away. Like there was a few weeks of, just trying my best to let it go and not think about it and not stress about this financial burden and basically just stop talking about it. Like the more we talked about it, like I just couldn't let it go. So fully surrendered. We're not talking about it anymore. We're just gonna see what things happen. We're gonna wait and we're gonna pray. We're gonna lean into God and we're gonna just ask Him to take over, take control, and give us a sign. So within the span of 2 weeks, and I'm not kidding you, like this was so insane, finances started taking a turn for the better. And I'm not gonna get into a lot of the details because this is really personal information, but through like our tax return, through our year-end reviews and getting our yearly raises, through friends and family who had been praying for us, they felt like they had this calling and they just felt like God was saying like, this is how you can help, or this is what I want you to do. And they listened to that, to the Holy Spirit speaking to them. And like the people that were involved in this don't even necessarily know each other. And so it's not like they all got together and made this plan to come to us suddenly, but it was just like, what is happening? And we were just like, okay, like, whoa. And so I just remember within those 2 weeks feeling so thankful for the community we have around us and for the job that we have and for like our tax return. Like we never get money back, ever. Things just took a shift. God was showing us, this is how you're going to pay for it. And I've got you. And I love you. And I'm showing you and proving to you that I am real. And if you will just come to me with your burden, if you will seek me in all areas of your life, I will provide for you because you are my child. Because you are mine, I am going to take care of you. It's almost like I forgot that He could take care of the situation. It's almost like I stopped trusting Him throughout this infertility journey, that He could even do something like that. And once I finally just gave it to Him and said, I can't carry this anymore, I give it to you and I trust you and I want you to guide us and I want to do your will, it was like He just showed up. But I just wanted to share with you because it was just so incredible to me that the minute we surrendered and we fully trusted God, He showed up and He answered our prayers. And like I'm still blown away that this even happened. I'm so blown away by God's goodness and God's love. And what's sad to me is that this is the third time that He's shown up in my life, and I still continue to forget that. Like I've experienced these 3 things, and some days I still feel like, God, are you there? Like, are you listening? Do you care about me? And it's like, duh, of course He does. He's shown up 3 times for you. Like, yeah, it's just so incredible. And I hope that these stories came across in the right way. And I just encourage you, if you're going through a hard time, just pray about it. Just turn to God and give Him your burden and ask Him to help you, and trust that He loves you and He already knows the plans for you and what's supposed to happen in your life. And I feel like we all can just learn from that we don't have to carry that burden of worry and stress. Like, just let it go. Let it go and let God take control and let Him lead you where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to do, and just seek Him. Seek Him with everything that you have in all aspects of your life. And I promise you, He will show up. And it won't always be in a grand way. It won't always be in this like magical answer, but he will always answer you in some little way, whether it's a phone notification, if it's a gut feeling that you have. I don't know how to like convey what I'm trying to say. And I know that some of you, like I think I said this earlier, some of you are gonna think that this is all just a coincidence. Every story, oh, it's just a coincidence that happened. Oh, you just got lucky. No, like if you are a Christian, there is no such thing as luck or a coincidence. It is God talking to you. He is answering you. He is showing you something. He's guiding you. He's leading you. So I just pray that through hearing my stories, you will seek Him and you will get the answers that you're looking for. And I hope that this message is received positively. And if you would like to continue to follow our infertility journey, please hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if you really enjoyed hearing my 3 stories and my testimonies. And yeah, I promise to continue to upload videos as we get further along on our egg donor journey. And like I said, I feel like God was placing this on my heart to share these stories with you. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will talk to you later. I love you guys. Thank you for being invested in my channel. And we'll talk soon.